Hi there. This is gonna be another Lake Balaton off the beaten path video, and you can see I am definitely off the beaten path. This place here is about 15 kilometers north of the lake, and my actual destination is this hill or mountain over there with, I mean, not this one in the foreground. This is just a place where I will try to climb up. Oh, is it safe? Hopefully, because it will be more visible from up here. Okay, so that hill over there, this is Kab-Hegy. Kab-Hegy is the highest mountain in the Southern Bakony Hills, and I hope you can see it's got these two towers on the top of it at the peak. The left one is actually between 220 and 230 meters high, and it is one of the highest buildings in Hungary. So I will go up to the peak of the mountain first, and then I'm gonna do a round trip and check out some other places worth seeing in the Kab-Hegy region. So let's go. I got another, well, let's say 10 kilometers of cycling to do, and not only 10 kilometers but also at least 250, no, not 250, let's say 350 meters of altitude. Okay, let's go. By the way, this area which I'm traversing right now used to be a Soviet military training area during the Cold War, or should I say the First Cold War. And you don't need to go through this place. I'm just traversing it to avoid the road when going with a bicycle. And let me show you something. You can still see some of these bunkers. Look at that. I have no idea how it was possible to go in there. Back on the main road. This is where we have to leave the main road, quote unquote, and take that dedicated little road which goes straight to the peak of Kab-Hegy. It is right next to the tiny little village of Urkut Zsófiapuszta, which is just by coincidence the place where my wife grew up. So actually it's a little bit more than coincidence, because if my wife hadn't lived here, I wouldn't know this region that well. Okay, so let's go up there. It's another about 3 kilometers. Let's go. And this road is a little bit demotivating. Just goes on and on in a straight line with a constant slope of, who knows, 10%, and just looks like you don't make any progress pedaling up there. So this is communist style road construction. So they knew their geometry, they were definitely aware that a straight line is the shortest connection between 2 points, the most cost-effective way to build a road, but looks like they didn't know that much about motivation and some other things like safety. Made it to the tower, which actually has been built as a television tower, and that was in the 1960s. And I know nowadays it's definitely also used for GSM, for mobile phones, but originally it has been a television tower. As I said, 225 meters or so high. Unfortunately, I don't have the connections that you would need to go up there. Let's do a selfie at least. Okay, so I don't have the connections, but there are some videos on YouTube where people climb up that tower. Okay, but we are still not yet at the peak of Kab-Hegy. Let's go down here. This is where one of these huge cables is attached that keep the tower in place. Let's see if you can see more of it. Of course, you're not supposed to go in there. So these are two of these cables that are attached to the tower to keep it in place. So there have been some quite severe storms here. One of them, I think the worst one, about 15 years ago, where many of the trees here near the top of the mountain fell down. I think we're gonna see this a little bit later. That's the small tower, which is located almost exactly at the peak. It's much less impressive, and I have to say I have no idea what its main purpose has been. Maybe some kind of backup antenna when the large one was under maintenance, but I don't know. Okay, and this is where we get to the Balaton, the viewing tower for tourists like myself. And here we got the new viewing tower, which I haven't seen before. As I said, hello. As I said, I've been here many times before because my wife grew up right next to this place, but I haven't been here during the past 6 years or so. And at that time there was a different kind of viewing tower here. Okay, nice view. You can even see some patches of Lake Balaton here and all of the uplands. Nice. Pyramid shape of this tower. So unfortunately, as is always the case, you probably won't be able to appreciate this landscape view through the wide-angle lens of my action camera. But believe me, it's definitely worth coming up here. I think I haven't mentioned the actual height of this place above sea level so far. So on old maps it says it is 600 meters high, but it seems to shrink for some reason. So when you look here, 596 meters just. And a few years ago, in another place, I read something about 599.6 or something like that. So I don't know, for some reason this mountain seems to shrink. So anyway, 600 meters is not really high, but for Hungary it is quite decent. And as I said, it's the highest place in the Southern Bakony Hills. There is also the Northern Bakony Hills, a few kilometers, 20-25 kilometers north of here, and this has some a little bit higher mountains. So there is the Kab-Hegy, which is about 700 meters high. Okay, so I have to hurry a bit, as it seems, because I have some other things to do in the afternoon. So I think I'm not gonna be able to do the complete round trip. Probably there's gonna be a part 2 of this video. But one thing I want to know, I want to see is another viewing point, another viewing tower, and that's where I'm gonna hurry to now. So first of all, I'm gonna take a quick downhill here and then try to get to this other viewing towers as quickly as possible. Now look at these old style, stylish electrical installations. Videos not feszültség életveszélyes. So high voltage, danger for your life. Okay, let's hope the downhill won't be that dangerous. Oh shit, where is my backpack? Looks like this is the way to this other viewing tower, but I know this only because I have checked my GPS. So there is not really a table except this hiking trail marking here, but I don't have a map with hiking trail markings with me, so I have to rely on my GPS. By the way, of course, I got my backpack back. I just left it at the table. That's what happens when you are in a hurry. You lose things and then you get into even more of a hurry. But fortunately, it's not that bad today. The viewing tower should be very close right now, but I still cannot see anything of it. Oh, that must be it. So this is the Molnár Gábor Viewing Tower. I have no idea who Molnár Gábor is or was. Actually, I already forgot the name of the other viewing tower. You know, over there you can see the peak of Kab-Hegy with the two towers. Oh yeah, here we have Molnár Gábor Viewing, who lived from 1908 to 1980, and look at that, catching a crocodile, but not in Hungary, I guess. So who was this guy? So still didn't get exactly who that Molnár Gábor was. He did take part in some expeditions in Brazil. He also was a writer, not really a scientist, but anyway, looks like he was a famous person. So this place is much less accessible than the other one, where you can go basically by car, except a few meters. Here you really have to hike for some kilometers, and I must say, even though it's at a much lower altitude, I mean the tower is much higher, but here we are definitely not at almost 600 meters. It's more like maybe 500, but the view, I think, is even better, and especially you get a really good impression of this huge forest, which is also used for hunting. So if you have a license, you can go hunting in this huge forest. My brother-in-law actually has a license, and there is a ridiculous number of deer here. So many that it's actually can get quite dangerous to drive around on the roads here at night. Yeah, this is really, I would say, much nicer than the other place. You're really inside the forest, surrounded by at least 1 kilometer of forest on each side. You even have a great view on over there on the hills like Chobans, Szentgyörgyhegy, around Tapolca near the Kali Medence. Yeah, nice place. Definitely recommend it. Now I really have to go. Unfortunately, I didn't get up early enough this morning, so I wasn't able to show you some of the other interesting things, like there are some rocks, some interesting geological formation, there are caves, but so I think there will be a part 2 of this Kab-Hegy video. Might be recording it in a few days, let's see. But anyway, I hope that this was interesting as well. So especially this place. I know it's a little bit difficult to reach. I don't even exactly know what the best way is when you want to go as much as possible by car. It's definitely not the way that I took. Probably you have to go to the village of Urch and park there and walk like 2 kilometers, but I don't really know. So yeah, I think that's it for today, and hope to see you next time in a few days. Bye bye.